Welcome to Crypto for Beginners. My name is Doug, and I'll be walking you through this program. It is intended to give you a history of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, help you with some definitions, and then help you understand and utilize the tools that are available to you. The beginning of this program will be kind of monotonous. Not much interaction going on at the beginning because it's more historical data. I will be reading it to you in a PowerPoint presentation form. The reason for me doing that is so if you want to disconnect visually and put on a headset with walking around or doing whatever you do, it makes it a little easier to do that. With that being said, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I say in any of these videos or moving forward is to entice you into purchase anything or into invest. We're all adults and you can make your own decisions. I am simply giving you the feedback and the data that I know, I understand, and my opinions and thoughts on different things. So with that being said, here is the history of Bitcoin. First, that is not what we would consider a Bitcoin. That's the first misconception about Bitcoin, is that it's a physical piece of currency. That is not true. While you can print out a paper form of your digital currency, it is a digital currency. Throughout history, there have been several examples of corruption and manipulation in banking systems across all countries. Bitcoin was created to eliminate this third party, this central authority, and allow person-to-person, peer-to-peer, or P2P financial transactions. Bitcoin was created in 2010. Around this time, the American banking system created and popped a financial bubble that negatively affected millions of Americans. While the people in the banking system were the cause of the bubble, the American people are the ones who paid the price. If you remember going back, there were a lot of loans that were given out and people weren't able to afford their homes. There were many evictions. That was the beginning of it, and then it ended up being that the financial systems got government funding and backing, and there were, to my knowledge, I don't think there was anybody that ended up going to jail for it. So that sparked some interest with some people in the population to try to find a different way of doing it. Around the same time, the Cyprus government had its own financial crisis. During this crisis, it froze thousands of people's banking accounts to refund some of the money lost in the government. If you don't know anything about that, research Cyprus government financial crisis. It's a very interesting article, but this was another thing that helped move along the interest in cryptocurrency. The goal of Bitcoin was to create a globally accepted and recognized decentralized currency. It is a shared code that creates a global payment network using computers and tracked by mathematics instead of humans. Works on algorithms. It works on an open source software protocol similar to the coding of your email and the internet. Being an open source lets anyone and everyone track the protocol. The first product that is both digital and scarce. Now it sounds interesting, digital and scarce. You would say, how is something both digital and scarce? And that is one of the biggest things that we're going to research and understand over the next couple of slides, next couple of videos. There is a definitive and a definite amount of Bitcoin. Blockchain technology, a massive ledger for tracking transactions. Digital ledger in which transactions made in Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency are recorded chronologically and publicly. Once added to a blockchain, data is unable to be changed in any way. A continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. Any and all of these blocks or records can be viewed by anyone at any time. So basically what we're talking about here is a ledger is a way to, it's an accounting system. And in the blockchain, there's sets of ledgers, which are accounting systems that get put together onto a chain. And over time, the chain grows and grows and grows. And being that it's open source, you can at any time go and research the transactions. And once they're on the blockchain, they can never be changed or altered, which makes it so it's impossible to manipulate. Ledger is a tracking system for goods and services. You'll notice a lot of the things that I talk about on here are said over and over in different ways, and that's in an attempt to help you understand. It is a very this whole system is very new to people, and I just want to try to make sure that I define it in different ways to make it easier to understand. A basic financial accounting system that keeps track of financial transactions. The blockchain is a chain of ledgers that, when put together, shows you every financial transaction. So the Bitcoin blockchain is a chain of ledgers that shows every Bitcoin transaction ever to take place. The data in full will always be there and can never be changed or manipulated because it is a mathematical equation inclusive of algorithms. Why is it special? Unlike the current banking system, Bitcoin is unable to be manipulated or changed. It's faster and cheaper than banks. Money can be transferred across the world in a matter of minutes for little to no fees. This is also done without having to constantly convert currencies. Transparency: anyone can see any and all transactions at any time. How it works. When a Bitcoin is used to pay for goods or services, what is happening is one person or company is giving another person or company control to that part of the database by giving them their code or key. Another way to look at it is to think of the ledger as a simple tracking system, and Bitcoin as a representation of wealth or debt. Supply and inflation. One of the most valuable qualities of Bitcoin is its scarcity. There are only 21 million Bitcoins that are available for mining. They are released at roughly a rate of half of the supply every 4 years. Unlike the banking system, the amount of Bitcoin cannot be increased. Banks can increase the amount of currency printed without any gold backing through the government, and that's what causes inflation. That cannot happen in Bitcoin. There is a definitive amount of Bitcoin, which we'll go over in more detail in a little bit. Bitcoin mining. Mining is done by high-powered computers combined with or without people, verifying all transactions on the ledger with extensive mathematical equations combined with algorithms. These miners implement the data into the blockchain, which then becomes permanent. Mining does two things. One, secures and verifies transactions that happen on the Bitcoin network. Two, it creates new Bitcoins they receive as a reward for their work. The process in short: this is an open accounting system where thousands of computers work together to track ownership of digital currency or tokens called Bitcoins, cryptocurrency. When a Bitcoin is used, it is broadcasted over the entire network. After it is recorded, it will be added to the blockchain, in which it cannot be changed. This blockchain holds a record of all financial transactions ever made since its inception. This is a peer-to-peer or P2P system, not governed by a central authority. Bitcoins are given as a reward for the work done or mining. Digital currency. Bitcoin is the first currency of the internet, or digital currency, and it is essentially free for anyone, anywhere to use. This is basically the largest socioeconomical experiment ever conducted. That's a good place to stop for now. Hope you guys are finding everything in here interesting. I promise things will pick up as we move on when I get to show you how to utilize the tools that are available to you to invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. I'll leave you with this picture until we get into video 2, and you can try to figure out, why do I have 2 pizzas on the screen? My name is Doug, and I'll be back with you shortly.